Hello everyone, this is Sam Ricken here. I'm sitting next to Grace Fisher, and we are going to be talking about bridge building today and how you go about selecting a bridge for a particular site and what things you need to consider when building a bridge. So we're going to cover those areas mostly, and we have a few videos we're going to show you, as well as all the considerations you need to take before building a bridge. So this is a video that's going to be a time lapse, and it's showing a bridge, the overall process of it being built. It's 30 seconds, and after this we're going to talk about some things, but this will give you a general idea of what it looks like to build a bridge. You can see the first things they're doing here. They're building up 2 towers. These are their support systems. They're going to be able to carry the whole load of the bridge. You can see they're tying these cables to them and to the ramp of the bridge, and then building their way out. It's a very simple example, but that's generally how it gets, how bridges get built.
There are a lot of different types of bridges that you can choose, and one of them is an arch bridge, one is a suspension bridge, and one is a cable stayed, and one is a beam. And one of the things to think about when you're picking a type of bridge is just what you want it to look like, because that's one of the biggest differences. They're all going to be stable and be able to drive on it and walk on it and things like that, but the aesthetic value is different for each type of bridge, so it really depends on what you want it to look like in the end.
So where the bridge will be built, a couple things you have to consider. It's either going to be built over water or over land. If it's built over water, there's a lot of considerations you have to take into account, like how you're actually going to get the bridge pieces out on the water. There's a lot of extra equipment you have to use, like boating cranes. A big crane on a boat is what that is, or you'll have to use boats in general just to get your materials out to the end of the bridge, or wherever you're at in that bridge construction process. If it's over land, there's a lot more flexibility on equipment you can use. There's a lot more stability, and generally speaking, bridges over land are a lot easier to construct than bridges over water.
Your architect and engineer will ensure that the bridge is safe and designed properly, and all the members are in the right spots, because we definitely want to make sure it's secure enough to drive on and walk on.
After the design, the next step is to really start digging. That's when you have the bridge designed, you know where it's going to be, over land or over water. The most important thing is to make sure you're building those 2 bridge ends on stable supports, stable ground, and making sure that all your pillars and supports underneath the bridge are also stable. Fun little fact here, those 2 water cranes, those are water tower cranes, and there's only a handful of them in the world. So for building a big bridge, these are the pieces of equipment that are used. You can see they have that big chunk of a bridge. It's all been made right off the water. It's been made on land, and then it's been transported, and these cranes are going to lift it and set it onto these supports. So they're not actually building out from the support onto the to the other side. They're just basically putting a big piece on their supports that they've made. It's a lot simpler process, and this is how a lot of bridges are made, is in big pieces. This slide's just giving you a good example of that, building the bridge in pieces. So you're going to make a big piece like this Lego, and then once your supports are up, you're going to just put the pieces in place, so you don't actually have to build the pieces on the construction site. The decking for the bridge is something to consider. This is mostly with cost. There's a few different things you can use, like concrete, aluminum, or new engineer composite materials. Not much to talk about here. And now we're going to talk about paving the new bridge. These are some big pavers that when you're building a bridge, it's mostly a big wire frame, and you have to pave it with concrete. And there's a lot of big machines that are going to pave these bridges the way that you need them. Lastly, we have a video here to show you about how technology has improved bridge building. This will be quick, and this is in China. You can see it's pretty amazing technology that they're using to build these bridges.
And then we're done! And the bridge is built and all the cars can go across.
Thank you very much for listening. Here is our annotated bibliography.